Good morning, everybody. It's KB5MIQ Big Boy, old ham radio cats over here in the floor. Probably come jumping up here in a minute. Well, I've got a couple of subjects we're going to talk about today. Hey, ham radio cat, there you are. uh, Little quick update on old ham radio cat here. This cat took up with me after we got the grandkids cat. I may have mentioned that a year or so ago. But one of my videos, there was a calico in here, and it was a calico, one of the pair of sisters we've had for almost 14 years. And that cat was called Macy, and kind of my cat. She kind of adopted me. Well, we had to put Macy down about 3 weeks ago, and rough weekend for my wife. And ever since then, old ham radio cat has really took up with me for some reason. She follows me to bed at night about everywhere. But anyway, old ham radio cat's been a part of the channel. She gonna keep being a part of the channel. Well, we hit 925. Guys, I appreciate it. I never would have thought we'd have got to here, but we're gonna keep, as long as y'all keep listening to me, we're gonna keep putting them out. Little FT-8 update for me. I'm working on it. I'm having trouble figuring out all the settings, but we'll give a shout out to K1ENT Kent for hooking me up with a Rascal Buxcom unit. I'm trying to get hooked up now, and Richard Lenore up at MTC for teaching me what a serial port USB adapter was, because y'all remember I'm the guy who thought Raspberry Pi was a dessert, so I'm not up on computers. And WW5AH Adams on the phone with me about 30 minutes a day trying to help me set some stuff up. We're not there yet, but we get it fully going, we're going to do a video on it. Subject for today, and I've kind of touched on multimeters in the past, but I saw a social media post about a guy wanting to know what's the best multimeter he should pick up for using ham radio. Alright. That's going to be the $64 question. I'm going to show you what I use and make some suggestions on that. Now, my main multimeter use has come from me being an electrician doing service calls years ago. I've got several meters here, and one of them I've had before I was an electrician, and I think I got it about the time I got into ham radio. You're not going to see many of these around anymore that people use because everything's gone digital completely. But you see in a lot of ham radio estates, a multimeter that looks similar to that right there. That's an analog multimeter. Most of what you're going to find in ham radio estates are going to be Simpsons, and those were the state of the art in their day, and they're really good meters. These are nothing wrong with these meters. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're designed to be used sitting on a bench like this. They're not designed to be used you holding it or anything like that. That's because you got an analog needle that's not going to give you an accurate reading on it. Back in the day, electricians, we had to check capacitors using an analog meter. That's the only time we used an analog meter as an electrician, was to check a capacitor, see if it was bad. Digital multimeters is the way to go. Now, the sky's the limit on that. And I'll tell you something, as an electrician, something I ran into. And bear in mind, my electrical career started in about the same time I got into ham radio, about 91. The instructor told us, if you're doing service calls, you got a voltage problem on a house, check it with a digital meter, because when you call the power company, they're going to ask you if you checked it with a digital meter. And if you tell them you checked it with an analog meter, they're not going to come out and look at nothing. And believe it or not, I had that happen to me. I had a house that had a bad ground and had a voltage imbalance. And I called the power company and told them what the readings was on each leg to ground. They said, did you check it with a digital meter? Yes, I did. Okay, service guy's on the way out. So, Fluke is the gold standard of digital multimeters. I've used them at Red River where I worked at extensively. I had a Fluke at one time I traded for, and actually I give it to a son-in-law of mine when he first went into a tech business as working IT maintenance. Now, this is my Micrata Radio Shack multimeter that I've had since about 91. And in 91, this meter cost about $65. It's got an armored case on it. I liked it because of the size of it. It was easy to keep up with in a bolt bag on my tool belt when I was, doing electrical work. The Fluke I had was bigger. I compared them both in different applications, and I couldn't tell the difference in them. That's really a good meter, and it's an old school Radio Shack multimeter. Now, it'll eventually go out and I'll replace it. The other one I use, this is a Craftsman multimeter with a clamp-on ammeter. And I use that when I was troubleshooting circuits, see what amperage circuits were pulling, motor circuits, stuff like that. And it's basic multimeter. It's got your DC, AC voltages and ohms. It's like this one here, same thing. Very good. It's been very good, easy to use multimeter. Now, my personal experience in electronics with multimeters or ham radio has been mainly checking continuity on coax cables and checking them for shorts after I've installed connectors on them, or checking voltages off power supply and batteries. I don't rebuild equipment. I'm not that kind of ham radio operator. So I don't need a fancy meter. If you're just looking for something to check voltages, check continuity with, MTC, Richard's got a couple of meters. I looked at this website, the $25 price range, I would probably be ideal. You go to Amazon, they've got them from every price under the sun. I'm going to tell you, if that's all you're going to do, if you want to buy a Fluke, buy one. I personally think it's a little overkill on money that you won't ever really get good use out of. I do think you need a better digital than the freebie that Harbor Freight gives away. So it's kind of the range there of the amount you want to spend, but a good multimeter is handy. And now if you're really getting into building and repair like Tim, Jeff, Cody, Adam, Kent does, there's other avenues of multimeters, and I highly suggest you check this out. Go to a bigger ham fest or a big sidewalk sale. There's usually some guys there that are selling used test equipment. I was at Cowtown Ham Fest back in the winter, I think it was in January, and there was a guy there who had a table full of Fluke bench grade or bench type multimeters. And a bench multimeter is going to be a bigger bodied multimeter, probably do some more functions, but it's made to be set on a bench and used, not carried around like a technician does with these smaller multimeters. I'm not going to quote the price on them because I've slept since then, but I remember, now I'm tight, and I remember saying, if I needed one of them, that was a good price. He had them working, they were clean, and there were Flukes, and he had another brand or two there, but he had several Flukes, and they were priced very reasonably, I thought, for that type of equipment. So if you're going to do some building or electronic repair and need that type of meter, I'm sure they're expensive new, but go to a ham fest, because you see guys with test gear at these ham fests all the time. So you might find a good deal there, and you'll be able to power it up. Should be able to power it up. Check it out. Well, I hope this helps some of you guys make decisions on multimeters. Remember, we got Shreveport Ham Fest coming up August the 12th. There's going to be a slide on here about it. I think the Jumpstart program is good to the 30th. The Round table slide will be on here and a couple of others, so y'all check all that out. Remember, Main Trading Company in Paris, Texas, for your ham radio needs, especially used gear. Guys, we get closer and closer to that 1,000. We'll do another giveaway. I really appreciate all y'all's support. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73.